Welcome to the Champion Strengths. One of Kinessa's main strengths is that she's a sniper, and that inherently forces others to deal with her. The last thing any team wants is a sniper farming them from the back line all game, so in a way it forces the enemy's hand to pressure her. This makes their play predictable to both you and your teammates, as you can always assume someone has been owned the task of seeking you out and sending you back to base. Secondly, slows. You wouldn't think a sniper has utility, but Kinessa's ability to slow enemies near her mines are a fantastic source of utility pressure for both her and her teammates. Oftentimes, a slow is the difference between someone getting into cover or landing that last headshot. A 30% slow in an FPS shooter can be monstrously impactful, so it's just up to Kinessa to stay alive long enough to use it. Finally, pressure. Snipers, even in militaristic terms, can apply significant mental pressure to enemies when they know they're in their sights. Being shot once or twice for your entire health can be a demoralizing feeling and make enemies wary to attack in open spaces or down long lines of sight, giving your teammates an inherent advantage in combat. A great sniper is one of the most dangerous threats on the battlefield. Now let's get to the training range and start honing those combat skills. Kinessa's left mouse button is called Sniper Rifle, and it's exactly what you would expect for a sniper to have. An energy carbine that shoots small lasers that are most effective from close range. Just kidding. Kinessa's Sniper Rifle actually has two modes, and this first mode is geared towards close combat, to allow her to fight enemies who get in her face and threaten her at short range. The carbine does a small amount of damage and shoots rather quickly, so great aim will benefit Kinessa players a lot here. The DPS is actually pretty high, enough to kill an EV quickly if she isn't careful. The weapon does scatter randomly, albeit not much, and it suffers from fall off, meaning the farther away you are, the less damage it will do. On the plus side, it can also headshot, so using this up close to increase accuracy and damage will always be your best bet. Kinessa's right mouse button is called Sniper Mode, and it turns her normal carbine into a scoped sniper rifle. This allows Kinessa to target enemies from distance more effectively than almost any champion. While scoped, bars on the side of your screen will charge towards the center, and if you shoot a champion with it fully charged, you'll do an increased 30% damage to them. In fact, the amount of time you hold your scope down will directly impact the damage of your weapon shot. Beware of holding it scoped forever though, since you will move slower while scoped, but also put on horse blinders. You can't see around yourself, and many flankers can sneak up on you and kill you. But how shall you see enemies coming, you say? Well, have no fear, oppressor mines are here. Kinessa's Q allows you to throw out mines that both slow and cause damage to opponents that move within range of them. At base, you can have 2 mines out at one point, but certain cards can allow her to have a lot more. These mines have a significant impact on fights due to their slow, as I mentioned in her champion strengths earlier, but they are also Kinessa's greatest cue cards as to what's going to happen next. When you place your mines on the flanking routes near you, it allows you to see where enemies are coming from due to the damage ticks that oppressor mines cause. This will give you a clear hint that someone is most likely coming at you from the right or left flank, and to reposition appropriately, or aim a shot towards that side. Alternatively, when you are fighting close range, using your carbine on an enemy who is slowed by an oppressor mine will give you a 30% damage increase to your unscoped weapon shots, which is pretty handy. And for your awareness, one mine will only target one enemy at a time. So when you do see an enemy coming for you thanks to those mines ticking damage, how do you get away? Transporter is Kinessa's F skill, and it allows her to throw out a transporter beacon that will travel a short distance, and when done traveling, teleport her to that location. This is not an instant teleport, as it does take some time, so trying to teleport with 1 health will usually mean you die. That's right, even while you're teleporting, you can still be killed, so be careful and be preemptive, meaning plan ahead for when you're going to use this. On rare occasions, Transporter can help you to chase down opponents who are almost dead and retreating, but be sure you know it's a fight you can win, otherwise you won't have any way out. Try and run. This phrase actually forces enemies to take cover, as it means Kinessa is sniping and ready to take you out. Activating Headhunter will give your weapon shots 50% extra damage when you shoot the upper half of an enemy, and it will also give your weapon shots free ammo, so don't worry about having to reload at all during this time. In scoped mode, you'll be able to one-shot many champions if you hit their upper body while fully charged, and enemies will know this and look to retreat quickly. Sometimes, Headhunter can be used to empower your basic carbine shots in order to take down flanks quickly. And if you find yourself in a close 1v1 duel and need to stay alive, this could be a very valuable application of your ult. Now that we know her skills, let's move on into the loadouts. This is the main loadout I use for Kinessa, and it's by one of the best Paladins players in the world. Bird specializes in incredible Kinessa play, and so if there's anyone to trust with how to build her, I'd choose him. This loadout allows Kinessa to heal when she transports thanks to Restore, as well as to move twice as fast while scoping, which is helpful when scoping around corners as well as repositioning while fighting. The deck also allows her to reveal enemies she hits with her sniper attacks, meaning she can see where they move and anticipate them peeking back around corners, as well as allowing her to scope in and out faster to survey the battlefield. Lastly, the card Well Stocked gives Kinessa a third mine in her kit to help with team utility and covering flanking routes with mines. As far as items, I'd like to suggest Haven or Blast Shields in the defensive tree, depending on which type of damage is giving you the most trouble. In the healing tree, I'd offer Kill to Heal as a pretty good opportunity for Kinessa to pick up some free healing after any enemy is tagged with her Oppressor Mine damage. And finally, in the utility tree, I'd like to suggest either Morale Boost for getting your ultimate up that much more, or Master Riding to position yourself better in a fight and make sure you can land those preemptive snipes onto flankers who might be coming at you. Now we're in the last section of the guide, the tips and tricks. Welcome to the tips and tricks section. My first tip is to use Headhunter while almost shooting an enemy in order to guarantee kills. This essentially means to have a target lined up and in your sights rather than activating it and then looking to get into a sniping position. The reason being is that A, if you look to get into a sniping position after you've activated it, it wastes time since your ult only lasts for a bit. And B, if you are already in a position to snipe multiple targets, it allows you to burst those targets more effectively before they can leave that line of sight and hide behind cover, which they'll inevitably try to do. My second tip for Kinessa is to be a master of two mines. As Eevee, Skye, or many other flank damage champions, your mentality is focused on who you're going to kill. With Kinessa, it's the same thing, but your mind has to be split evenly to be simultaneously focused and aware on who you're going to kill and who might be coming to kill you. As a sniper, you have to always be doing something, even if you're standing still, checking for flanks, scoping and unscoping to get a better POV, throwing mines, transporting if someone is coming after you, and during all of that, trying to land pinpoint headshots. But the training of both the defensive and offensive mind while playing Kinessa will significantly up your game and improve your FPS capabilities in general. Lastly, and probably most importantly, movement. The key is to always stay moving. If you're a sniper, that can seem counterintuitive, but the more you move, the less your enemies have a chance to find out where you are. You only need one big-time headshot to change a fight, and by moving, you keep flanks off your tail and keep your enemies guessing where and when you'll next strike. In many ways, Kinessa is all about surprise, and if you master moving constantly and changing your vantage point several times to catch enemies off guard, you'll be on your way to mastering this battle-tested sniper.
I remember you left my spirit.